Good morning. My name is Jeff Rose, Jeffrowes, and I am a senior attorney with the Institute for Justice. We are here this morning to announce an important federal lawsuit designed to vindicate a basic free speech principle. The police don't get to choose which journalists cover them, and they certainly don't get to choose which journalists cover them based on the content and criticism in that coverage. I'd like to give a quick big picture overview, and then I'll turn it over to my colleague, Tori Clark, who will explain the specific details of the case, and then we'll hear from our client, Justin Pulliam, and we'll be happy to take questions. The Institute for Justice is a national public interest law firm that litigates strategic constitutional cases intended to vindicate the rights of ordinary Americans. Part of what we do is the Project on Immunity and Accountability, and its purpose is to secure decisions from the highest courts in the land to ensure that officials are held accountable when they violate the constitutional rights of Americans. And here, we're vindicating Justin's right to be able to speak freely and cover the police as a citizen journalist. All right, I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Tori Clark, an Institute for Justice attorney, who will explain the details of the case.
Thanks, Jeff. Good morning. My name is Tori Clark, Toriclark, and I'm an attorney with the Institute for Justice. Imagine if you were on the scene of a big case that you knew was going to be important to your viewers. Yet imagine if police officers approached you, and only you, and ejected you from the scene, while other news crews were allowed to stay and report. That's what's happened to our client, Justin Pulliam. Justin is an independent journalist who covers local government issues, including the police. He brings his own unique viewpoint to his reporting, and he often covers events like traffic stops that other local media outlets might not cover. And Justin is often critical of the government officials he covers, including those in the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office. The government doesn't get to decide who reports the news, and it doesn't get to retaliate against journalists it doesn't like. Yet the Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office has repeatedly harassed, intimidated, and retaliated against Justin because of his reporting. In July 2021, the sheriff himself ordered officers to remove Justin from a press conference at a public park just because the sheriff determined that Justin was not real media. And in December 2021, about a year ago, sheriff's deputies arrested Justin while he was on scene filming a mental health call that Justin believed posed a significant risk to the ill person's well-being. Officers arrested Justin because he did not comply with an unreasonable order to leave the scene where he couldn't film, even while other bystanders were permitted to stay. This was Justin's first and only arrest, yet Justin was jailed for several hours and forced to endure a humiliating strip search. And the violations didn't end there. While Justin was in jail, the sheriff himself arranged a meeting with Justin and became angry when Justin refused to waive his constitutional right to have an attorney present. Because of his arrest, Justin is now being prosecuted for interference with police duties. Filming the police from a reasonable distance, like Justin was doing, doesn't interfere with police work. Under the First Amendment, officers don't have the power to arrest someone in retaliation for criticizing them, and the government doesn't have the power to restrict journalism based on its content. That means that the sheriff's actions are not just wrong, they're unconstitutional. Americans should be able to criticize the police without fear of being arrested, jailed, and prosecuted. That's what this case is about. It's about the freedom to speak one's mind about the government and government officials, even if those views are critical or controversial. Now I'll turn it over to our client, Justin Pulliam.
Hello, I'm Justin Pulliam, Justin, P like Paul, Ulliam like Mary. I filed this lawsuit to stand up for the rights of all members of the public and citizen journalists who film or criticize the police. I started off getting involved in local government accountability while I was the chairman of the Conservative Student Club at Texas A&M University. After that, I started watching YouTube videos of police encounters. Previously, my information came from the national cable news channels and these YouTube videos challenged my viewpoint. Later, I started listening to the police radio scanner and then filming the police on scene for myself. I realized that it was very different than my previous perspective of the police. Now I'm a full-time citizen journalist. I have a YouTube channel, The Corruption Report, and on The Corruption Report I cover matters of local abuse and discrimination and waste. That can be filming the police, going to city council and covering the elected officials there, elections and other local matters. Even though I focus on local issues, and I do so because I believe the local issues have the largest and most substantial impact on our daily lives, I've gained a following of people all around the world who are also interested in creating positive change in their communities. And I do more than just observe. I am working to create reform. And some people do not like the reform that I am trying to create. However, the Constitution protects my rights. It protects me when I film and I speak critically of the police and the local government. I should not be retaliated against or arrested for doing my job as a journalist. However, non-controversial speech or speech that is supportive of those in power does not require constitutional protection. As Tori mentioned, I was ejected from a press conference outside. It was actually at a public park regarding a high-profile missing persons case. Other people were allowed to film and ask questions of the sheriff. I was not. About a year ago, I had actually stopped filming Fort Bend County Sheriff's Office deputies because of the retaliation, harassment, and I was very fearful that they were going to do something bad to me. However, as I was traveling to another county, to Brazoria County, to cover a story there, I noticed that there was a call at a location I knew to be it was a mental health call that I had been covering this scenario for a while, and I knew that this man was in danger, so I stopped to film this scene. I obtained permission from the property owner. I stood a safe and reasonable distance away, silently filming the police response. A few minutes later, a police sergeant arrived, immediately approached me, unreasonably ejected me, and then arrested me as I was walking away from the scene. I'm very thankful for the Institute of Justice, Toy Clark, and Jeff Rose for filing this lawsuit on my behalf, but this lawsuit is not just for me. This lawsuit is for everyone who films or questions or criticizes government. We have a constitutional right to do so, and we should not be in fear of retaliation, arrest, or prosecution for doing so. I'd also like to mention that police wearing body cameras is not enough. The independent perspective from an independent witness is very important for everyone's safety, the suspects and the police alike. But body camera doesn't always see the light of day. Citizen journalists can immediately publish the events that occur in their communities. Let's take, for example, my case. Had it not been for the backup camera view that I had, it would have been my word against the police reports, because as of today, the police nor the DA have provided a copy of the video that demonstrates my arrest. I guess I'd also like to say what I think is important here is that it's not just one officer or a police supervisor. While I was in jail, Sheriff Eric Fagan himself came and sent me down. I told him that I would not speak. I requested my attorney before questioning. They would not provide an attorney. And when I wouldn't speak, they said, well, Justin, you know who this is. This is the sheriff. And when I continued to decline to speak without an attorney present, they said, well, we'll just do it the normal way. But nothing about this prosecution has been normal. And that's why we filed this lawsuit, to protect my rights and the rights of everyone else who films the police. Thank you.
Thanks, Justin. Now, if you have any questions for us as a group, we're happy to take them. If not, we will be available individually to answer questions.
Can you tell us what Justin was charged with?
Absolutely. Justin was charged with interference with a police officer. It's a Class B misdemeanor under Texas law. Reminder, though, that this lawsuit is a separate proceeding from the criminal case. The lawsuit that we're filing on Justin's behalf today is in federal court, and the Institute for Justice is representing Justin in this case. In Justin's criminal case, IJ is not representing him, and that is a case that the government is bringing against Justin in state criminal court, and Kobe DeVos is representing Justin in that case.
So, just for clarification, was he arrested? Were you arrested twice?
No, Justin was only arrested once, and that was the December 2021 incident while he was filming the mental health call.
Okay, he was asked to leave at the press conference, right?
Correct. Yeah, at the press conference, he was asked to leave, and he did actually. He was removed across the parking lot, and he complied at that point. But as in the December 2021 incident, he did not comply with the order to leave the scene, and that's when he was arrested.
What kind of demand are you guys asking?
We're asking for damages. Right now, the amount is undetermined. We're also asking for a declaratory judgment for the court to declare that the defendants violated Justin's rights. And then we're also asking for injunctive relief, first to ensure that the government doesn't violate his rights in the future, and also a court order that would force the defendants to return some of Justin's equipment that they still seized, and also the video of his arrest.
This happened at Fort Bend County Sheriff, but is your demand against Fort Bend County Sheriff or Fort Bend County?
Both. So we've sued Fort Bend County itself, but then we've also sued Sheriff Eric Fagan and then several individual Fort Bend officers who were involved in the incidents.
Anything? I guess your message.
Absolutely. Filming the police is helpful for everyone because it protects individuals from police abuse. The sheriff himself acknowledged the importance of creating an individual record. So it protects the public from police abuse, but it also protects police from allegations of wrongdoing that are false. Great. Thanks, everyone.